Hello everyone, my name is Jesse. Welcome to the Auditorium. If you're new, I like to react to video game music from games I've never heard about or played. If you're not new, welcome back. I myself am a musician. I've been playing guitar for a very long time, and today I'm going to be doing a series of PayPal requests for someone who basically sent me the whole soundtrack to Project Wingman. This is called Magma Carta, sorry. And that sounds quite similar to Magna Carta, which, if I recall correctly, is like some rule that the kings are not above the law or something like that. So I don't know if it's just a play on words or either way. But before I get started, I would like to just read this from the composer himself who watches my channel. Hello, Jose. They wrote this on my last video for Project Wingman about something that I said and that he basically acknowledged, which I said that they combined like old sounding stuff like orchestral and then like new modern electronic sounds, and this is what he had to say about that. And it reads, "Hey Jesse, always a pleasure to see you reacting to my music. Also shout out to the viewer who requested the whole soundtrack. There are 2 videos explaining all the thought process behind the tracks and the themes from the game on my channel. But long story short, the story of Project Wingman is about a war between 2 entities, the Cascadians fighting for freedom against the Federation. This bigger empire wanting to expand. The reason I decided to blend orchestral and electronic sounds is because of this. Orchestral palette for the Cascadians and all the electronic stuff for the Federation, because they are more advanced in terms of technology, etc. Hope that makes sense. Thank you for your kind words about the tracks. Looking forward to watching more." So I was kind of on the money, except I didn't know why, but it's just cool that I was like actually kind of correct. So big shout out to Jose and Daniel for the request. This is Magma Carta from Project Wingman. Let us continue the journey of this crazy OST of a game now. I said before that I don't think this game has any bad songs. I just don't think it's possible. So it's about me just more enjoying the ride. No pun intended. See, like that. Perfect example right there. This sounds familiar. Is this a leitmotif? At least the chord progression sounds familiar. Or has this been in every song and I just noticed it now? Little electric guitar on the left channel. But you see what I mean? It's got that big orchestral, like, old school feel, and then the modern. This is more of a progressive, forward momentum, like I'm on a mission. Strings. And then there's the electronics to go with it. The soundtrack is sick. noticed a pattern with these songs. They all have like a big build up, like a big anticipation feel to them. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna find any bad songs in this series. There's just so much good sounds out of it. You know, I will say that it might be somewhat of a challenge, but I bring on the challenge to think of, you know, things to say for each one of these songs. But I will do it. But in this one, I could have sworn I've heard a leitmotif, which is a like reoccurring theme. Final Fantasy does it a lot. And I'm gonna have to look it up on my own time, but I believe it was the second Project Wingman song I heard. It sounded almost, there was like a part in this one that sounded almost just like it. And I'll probably do like a cut soon so I can like compare them back to back. But I'm pretty sure I heard that. So that makes me think, was that like an extension or the second phase of that song? Or does it like make a callback to it or something? I love when people do that, because it's just it feels now like it's a story, and it's just like an actual artistic piece of music as opposed to just like noises, you know, when you can go back and be like, oh, hey, that sounds familiar. So actually now I'm really curious, so give me a second while I do a little science experiment here. 1 second. Okay, we're back. First time on the channel I do this, where I do a back-to-back comparison, but let me know if you think these sound familiar. This is what we just heard, Magma Carta. This is 108 of the song we just heard. I'll let you decide for yourself. This is what I thought sounded like something else. Here you go. Okay, and this is Showdown. I think it's the same chord progression, and I also hear like a little bit of that same kind of like plucked guitar thing. And now you tell me if this sounds like it. This is 25 seconds in on Showdown. So that's what I heard. I don't know if I'm just hearing things, but either the chord progression is the same, or I mean it is, but there's something there. There's a motif there. Either I'm crazy, or it just happened. You know, the reason I'm bringing it up is because, you know, anyone who writes music, myself included, a composer, you know, there's only so many notes and sounds in their heads. Eventually they're bound to repeat a line or two. That's why, like, your favorite bands, like even on the same album, even they'll have like a riff that sounds like something from earlier in the album. It happens sometimes. So I don't know if it was intentional here or not, but either way, if not, cool coincidence. And if it was, then I'm starting to catch on, because the riff from Showdown, actually I don't know which one is first, so I don't know if they are connected, but the Showdown one, the second one we heard, which is I think the first song I heard from this game, that stood out enough for me to remember it, right? Because the melody was so crisp and clear. But as far as this song goes, anyways, back to this one. This one was really cool. Same thing, right? It had the mix, and I'm gonna guess that most, or if not all of them, have a mixture of orchestral and electronic ambience, and it's just so unique no matter how many times I hear it, because it just doesn't happen all that often. You know, you'll have string sections and violins, and all of a sudden you're like do 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 do. So, you know, it's interesting. It's music like this that actually opens your mind to genres, right? Like, let's say you only listen to one of the other. This will kind of like shoehorn you into more. Like, maybe you don't care about electronic music, but then you hear this and all of a sudden, you know, now it's in your head. So, and it makes you want to check stuff out. So that's really cool. That's how I found out a lot of genres. I kept hearing mixtures and concoctions, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, cool. So, I commend the effort, because it's really cool. In this case, it just works because of the lore, which now we know is actually something. So that's cool. I'm gonna have to watch those videos on my own time. The reason I haven't seen them, by the way, is because I don't want to get spoiled on anything potentially, or hear a song on accident that I'm not supposed to hear. So I'll ask my community and see if it's cool to watch those videos. If not, then they'll just have to wait. But yeah, I'll probably post the video that the composer's referring to in the pinned comment. And if you guys are into that, then cool. He is on YouTube, and say hi to him. I don't bug him. He found me, so really cool. I really appreciate it. It's really cool that composers, find me and see their work be reacted to. I mean, I would love to see people react to my music. I can only imagine what that feels like. So, anytime, Jose. It's always fun. And thank you again to Daniel for requesting it. Obviously, he's a huge fan of the series. I think he sent me 20. I don't know how many there are, but there's at least 20. So, anywho, with that said, let me know if that is an actual leitmotif or if I'm just crazy. And if you want to get your request in, you could do so on Patreon or PayPal. There has to be VGM, video game music. That's all I ask. There is a waitlist that is growing every day. And if you do not want to wait, you can do so on Patreon through the Platinum tier trophy. I always confuse those words. The Platinum trophy tier. And that skips the line and you don't have to wait. And it also does your outstanding songs waiting. So pretty beefy tier. And yeah, it's a limited slot. I only do 10 and a couple of filled. So a big shout out to Fly, Gardelane, Turn Arclight, Moon Knight, and Rogue Monk for being supporters of that. Greatly appreciate it, and appreciate you for watching. Thank you to Jose, thank you to Daniel, thank you for the Project Wingman community and the Ace Combat community as well, because they kind of are like brethren and they kind of work together. So until next time, dudes, and to the dudettes, my name is Jesse again. This is the Auditorium. I will see you in the next one. Peace.